are now listening to the Sportz Nutz.
Hey guys, it's the Sportz Nutz.
Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Buy one, get one 50% off drinks.
Tequilas Grill Mexican Restaurant has homemade salsa bars. They have the most authentic, most delicious, and most affordable Mexican cuisine in town.
Welcome to the Sportz Nutz. This is the 100th episode. We have made it, guys. Thank you to all those who are watching, who have tuned in, who are just in general accepting that this show means a lot. We appreciate each and every one of you. Guys, there is a lot of people in here. Hopefully more come and tune with us as well. We cannot wait to have you all. Guys, we have a fun, jam-packed episode. We cannot wait to get going with you. We're going to talk some sports. Yes, we have our good friend Kanoa Leahy. His dad actually was the commentator for sports for a very long time. Idolized him. I absolutely enjoy hearing him talk. I enjoyed his dad. His dad was phenomenal. We can't wait to talk with him about some sports. Is LeBron done? I think he might be, but we'll talk a little bit about that as well. We can't wait to talk some NBA playoffs. Hey, NHL postseason kind of has been a little bit of an interesting side. The Western Conference has a lot of interesting notations going on, and then you have the East as well. Can't wait to talk about that. We're going to talk about some Major League Baseball as well. Yes, we are jam-packed. But, guys, before we go any further, this gentleman, all right, guys, first off, he is literally sitting right next to me. Mr. Matt Thomas, man. How are you doing, sir?
I can't complain, man. Can't complain at all. Enjoyed the trip up here. Ready to kind of enjoyed my couple of days here with you guys. Just ready to go ahead and get this thing started.
Absolutely. All right, this gentleman literally sitting right here to my left. Shane Owen. How you doing, brother?
Oh man, been doing great, man. Just enjoying, man. Had a great dinner last night. Had a great dinner tonight here. Just ready to get going. Enjoying this time in the sports right now, you know.
Absolutely, guys. And then this gentleman literally sitting right below me. He's actually on the other side of the table. Mr. Hank Russell. How you doing, brother?
Man, I've got my baby powder on, ready to go, man. 100 episodes.
Hey, first of all, I want to say Shane's over here being modest, man. This man just went ahead and did prepared a whole feast for us yesterday, man. I want to just give him a shout out for that. A whole feast for us, a whole crab boil, shrimp boil. This got through now, and then he rewarded us with a brand new breakfast in the morning. So, just want to give it up to Shane over here, man. Just got to give him his flowers.
But see, I didn't get to experience this, and the thing about it is that I'm cool with that because now I'm having a quesadilla to make up for it.
We have leftovers in the fridge.
No, I'm good. It's not about the food. It's about the moment.
We have video.
Look, guys, yes. So last night we had a low country broil. Shane made us some fantastic crab, shrimp, corn, sausage, everything. Shout out to him. Shout out to my wife, Cassie. She helped facilitate this. So shout out to the most beautiful woman in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Mr. Kanoa Leahy of Spectrum Sports Hawaii. Kanoa, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, what's up? On with the Sportz Nutz, 100th episode. This is awesome. Great to see you guys,
Yeah.
Danny, Matt, Shane, Hank. My only regret is that I missed out on this dinner spread last night. So that would have been fun.
Man. Kanoa, oh my God! If you had, I texted you my phone number. I'm gonna text you the picture of the Low Country boil food. Oh my gosh, it was to die for, and we had a lot of fun. We were actually, me, Matt, and Shane, and my wife, and our neighbors were out. We were out until about 11:30 last night, and then we ended up calling it quits a little after midnight our time, so about 6 or 7:30 your time range. Oh man, it was fantastic. Had so much fun, such great food. And here's the crazy thing: weather is fickle thing in the world. And so the whole week, my wife and I, we cut the grass, right? We weed eated, we edged, we put the fire pit together. We actually created a little area to put the fire pit, put all the chairs out, right, everything. And then what does it do? It just storms for literally the entire afternoon. going to the evening. Go figure, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, on that note, it pains me to report that it's about 1:37 here in Honolulu, Hawaii, and there is not a cloud in the sky, and it's about 80 degrees outside. So, yeah, I totally feel you. I totally relate right
So speaking, all right, let's get it going. Obviously, Sports this year has had a tremendous jump in the right direction. One thing I think I want to attribute to obviously is the coaching. The coaching has been unlike any we have seen in a long time. I want to give a shout out obviously to the baseball program, which you were about to get Colin. Can you kind of give us a rundown of what has been different this past 2 years for baseball than it has been in years past?
Yeah, I mean, I think it starts with the head coach, Rich Hill. He's now in his 4th year running the program. He has been in the coaching game for almost 4 decades. Previously at San Diego, he was at the University of San Francisco, and everywhere he has gone, he has been able to build very competitive, successful programs. And when he got to Hawaii, I think one of the things that really ingratiated him to this local fan base was the fact that he recruited heavily on the local front. And so this is a team that on any given night has a lineup that is just filled with Hawaii products and guys who were standouts at the Hawaii prep level. And so there creates that sort of innate connection to the fan base just right there as a characteristic. And then the fact that they play a really good baseball. And what we've seen in the previous 3 years, and I think the fan base hoping to see it again here in 2025, is this is a team that has trended upwards throughout the year. Individually, we've seen guys who have seen their numbers increase as the season has gone on. They have a really, really strong April and May record. April was a little tough for them this season because they had a really difficult schedule going to Cal Poly, going to nationally ranked UC Irvine in back-to-back weekends. It was a long road trip. They stayed on the West Coast that entire time, and they only won one of those 6 Big West games. And so I think the hope is that this weekend they're out of conference. They're playing nationally ranked Oregon State. They took some lickings last night when they lost 11-4 to the Beavers, but they have 3 more games in this series, and then they get back to Big West Conference play. Right now they're on the outside looking in of the Big West postseason tournament. Top 5 teams in the standings qualify. It's the inaugural year of the Big West tournament, and so they're right now in 6th place, but still 6 Big West games remaining after this weekend against Oregon State. So I think it starts with Rich Hill, sort of the mentality, the culture of being able to get this team to be calibrated to play its best baseball in the months of April and May, and the hope is that that'll be the case here this May as well.
Now, we heard you mention UC Irvine. For those who don't know, those are your, potentially are quite possibly they are your biggest rivals out there. Can you give us a little insight on the history between the 2 programs?
Yeah, I mean, once Hawaii became a member of the Big West Conference back in 2012, it started to create some of these rivalries in a multitude of sports. And so in men's volleyball, for instance, UC Irvine, Hawaii, and Long Beach State are the 3 teams that perennially are the front runners in that Big West Conference. And so that's created a bit of a rivalry. In baseball, where Cal State Fullerton was sort of the standard setter of the Big West Conference for so many years, but recently taking a little bit of a dip. And so that has opened the door for UC Santa Barbara, UC Irvine to assert themselves as being these perennial powers and contenders in the Big West Conference. And Hawaii's still a team that I think considers itself on the come up of wanting to be a little bit more of that considered perennial contender in the league. And so that creates the natural rivalry of if Hawaii is going to take that next step and is going to be competitive at that level, they got to go through teams like UC Irvine. And I think that has built now this expectation that those games every year are going to mean a lot. And so when games have a lot of stakes attached, when there's a lot of meaning behind it, that's where rivalries are built. And so I think you're starting to see some of that occur here in baseball as well as some other sports.
Okay, now, as you mentioned across some other sports, I know the prep scene there in Hawaii is pretty great. And as we've seen a lot of talent go to other schools and then eventually come back. How is, UH looking at, getting some of these transfers coming back towards towards, kind of home and stuff like that? What's the future of the prep sports there looking like?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I think this is one of the more pertinent questions each and every year in the recruiting season for every coach at the University of Hawaii, because Hawaii is, when you consider per capita the fact that it's not one of the biggest markets, certainly it is still a hotbed for athletic talent, especially in the sports of football, volleyball, baseball. There's a lot of really high quality athletes that come out of this place. And so the recruiting of the blue chip level of those athletes, where I think there is this sense among a lot of them that, growing up in Hawaii, you're isolated, you're out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And so to properly spread your wings, so to speak, you have to go to the continent. You have to go and play somewhere or experience college life somewhere far away from home. And so you have that sort of embedded a little bit in the culture of sports and recruiting. And so I think it's incumbent on University of Hawaii coaches to, go after those kids for sure. But with the expectation that it might be difficult when you're competing with teams from the SEC or the Big 12 or the Big 10, knowing that there is a probability perhaps that they're going to opt to go elsewhere. But I think it's important for those coaches to then also deliver the message of, all right, hey, good luck. I understand why you would make this decision. But if you do change your mind, if you get homesick, if it's not quite all it is cracked up to be, give us a call, and we will be here ready and willing to accept you with open arms. That hasn't always been the message delivered by past regimes. There oftentimes was this notion of, you decided to go elsewhere and you're turning your back on the hometown school. Well, see you later. That's a wrap, and lose our number kind of thing, which to me is just bad business. That doesn't make any sense, especially because Hawaii is kind of a unique place. And I think the culture and the lifestyle here are such that you do have a lot of kickbacks. In baseball, there have already been several players that have tried to go elsewhere, even within the Big West Conference, that came back and are now in pretty pivotal roles with UH baseball. One of them that comes to mind here off the top of my head is Jordan Donahue, a guy who ironically started his career at Oregon State in 2021, didn't play that year because of some injuries and whatnot, and then decided, it just kind of wasn't what he expected it to be. He transfers back, and here he is now starting against Oregon State this weekend, and he has just been an absolute gem of a return recruit and player for Hawaii. So that's just one of a countless number of examples, I think, of players who have decided to return home, and it has absolutely benefited UH sports. So I think that's an interesting question, Shane, because I think it behooves every Hawaii head coach to kind of have that mentality when it comes to players and athletes that decide to go away first.
Absolutely. And we're only a year away from the big jump, the jump to the Mountain West Conference. What do you facilitate? Well, what do you see going to happen for all of sports? Obviously, we've seen, I'm going to go ahead and say sheer dominance with the Rainbow Wahine, obviously in women's basketball. They're outright dominating the Big West. And, we're kind of in that point where we're starting to see softball return back to its level of competition. Obviously, you just mentioned baseball is getting there. Timmy Chang is going to another stacked season. What do you see happening with regards to going to the Mountain West Conference?
Yeah, I mean, football's already there, so I don't necessarily sense much in terms of a competitive difference, although I do think that it is time now for Hawaii to start putting together some winning seasons, not only to benefit Timmy Chang and this coaching regime, but also with this upcoming, media rights deal that's going to be negotiated on behalf of the Mountain West Conference. I think Hawaii wants to position itself to be in a valuable position and to have its value be measured and understood within the context of the league. And of course, it starts with football. Every television rights deal, every conference, the flagship sport is football. So I think that's an important factor. I think what you'll see in basketball is, despite some of the teams that are leaving the Mountain West to go to this new version, whatever the Pac-12 becomes, I think it's going to be a step up in competition. While at the very top of the Big West, teams like UC Irvine, teams like UC Santa Barbara, Hawaii in any given year, they've been competitive for sure, and they are NCAA tournament quality teams. But I still think with the teams that are going to be remaining in the Mountain West, and some of the incoming teams as well. I think that that's still going to be a step up for both men's and women's basketball. And so the challenge there is not only the travel is going to be more difficult because it's a bigger footprint. You're not just going on a single flight to California and bussing it to wherever you may have to play. You got to go on a couple of flights. And, that's always a challenge when you're a team traveling through time zones like Hawaii does each and every time it heads on the road. I think that could impact recruiting, right? Some of the areas in which Hawaii might have to try to spread itself in trying to create a profile to be an attractive location and destination for some recruits. I think those are the challenges because that is directly attached to recruiting budgets. And I think Laura Beeman has talked publicly, the head coach for the Rainbow Wahine basketball team, already about that and saying, hey, look, I'm going to need a little bit extra in terms of resources. Now, that is possibly more plausible because part of the deal on the part of Hawaii becoming a full-time member of the Mountain West Conference is that they won't have to pay the same travel subsidies that they had to pay previously in football with the Mountain West and in the other sports with the Big West. And so that should be a pretty significant relief. However, some of that is offset by the fact that the travel itself, because of the footprint of the Mountain West, is going to be more expansive and thus more expensive. And so, those are all going to be some of the adjustments that Hawaii is going to have to make here moving forward. I think it's interesting because in baseball, especially what the Big West has looked like here this season, where I think most people on the outside observe the Big West as being now a multi-league team, multi-bid team league, I should say, to the NCAA tournament. I think what the Mountain West is going to have remaining, while I think it's going to improve the Mountain West itself, but I think it's going to actually probably be a step down in terms of overall top to bottom competition, which, you could argue may open the door for Hawaii to be a little bit more of a front runner in that league. But those to me are going to be the standout adjustments. And then, men's volleyball, which is one of the hot tickets here in Hawaii each and every year. They're going to stay in the Big West, and I think that benefits them as well because the Big West brand has really been propped up in men's volleyball by Hawaii, by Long Beach State, and by UC Irvine. So, competitively, you'll see a little bit of a difference. And I think just in terms of budget demands, travel, that's where the largest differences are going to be felt.
It's weird that I have to sit here and say this, that Hawaii is going to be possibly traveling in the near future to Northern Illinois to play. That's going to be interesting to say that. But, I'm a huge advocate for UH sports and everything. And my biggest, pet peeve that I have right now is obviously what's going on with Aloha Stadium. We're now going, 5 years since Aloha has been condemned. We're nowhere near closer to the decision for new Aloha Stadium than we were 5 years ago. What is can you kind of give us an idea of what is going on currently with the plans for new Aloha Stadium?
Well, it is a hot mess. I think there's no other way to put it. It is a situation that's really regrettable. And there is no real certainty as to what the direction is with regard to a new stadium facility. You're right. Aloha Stadium, that structure was condemned in December of 2020. And here we are. I'm talking to you at the beginning of May 2025, and it is still standing there. We have not even been able to progress to the phase of demolition of the current structure. And so, while there is a process and we are getting information from the powers that be within the state of Hawaii, within the Aloha Stadium Authority, within the development group that is exclusively negotiating right now with the Stadium Authority and with the state, we are getting updates and they keep saying that they are still abiding by a certain timeline, but it is a fairly lengthy timeline that leads to what they're expecting to be the opening of a new Aloha Stadium, at least for UH football usage, to be in the 2028 season. And so we're still a ways away from that. But we can trust what they're saying, and some of it sounds encouraging. I think they're still holding out for some more investment and perhaps philanthropy from some other big money people within the community. And I think that there has been at least some murmurings that that could be on the horizon. But I think it's just quite simply the cost equation of it. It's the business side of it. And, in Hawaii, to ship materials and to put these kinds of projects together, it's just a lot more expensive here because of the geography than it is in other places. And I think, some of the impacts of the tariffs and some of the costs and some of the supply chain issues that have occurred out of that hasn't helped. That's added to some of the anxiety here. And so your guess is as good as mine to if and when this new Aloha Stadium Entertainment District project really starts to get rolling. I think when that stadium finally gets demoed, that's when it'll feel like, all right, at least we've now taken a step. Until that happens, it just kind of feels like we're spinning our wheels.
So my most memorable moment for UH. So I lived out there for 3 years. My most memorable moment was Boise State, UH. The stadium is rocking.
Oh, yeah.
We won the WAC championship outright. That was the most enjoyable. Gosh, that in the Washington game, that game was when Colt really defined himself as the true leader of UH sports. Obviously we saw a little bit of an interesting development happen in the NFL draft with Shedeur Sanders. And everybody was saying, what could be the cause as to why he has tumbled so far in the NFL draft. And then someone mentioned, well, he was the most accurate quarterback. Well, people don't remember also Colt was on that same boat. And why is it that, I even posed this question on Twitter. I asked, why is it that Shedeur, with his accuracy and touchdowns and passing yards and all that stuff, why was he rated as a first-round draft pick, but Colt wasn't? And, that's a very interesting question. You know what I mean? Like, Colt deserved the recognition and the notoriety. I mean, there are records that will still never be broken because Colt set them. And, unfortunately, he has passed away, but he's still a living legend at UH and the entire state of Hawaii. But why do you think Shedeur fell so far in the NFL draft this year?
Yeah, well, let's start with the Colt part of that discussion, because I agree with you. I mean, that was a golden stretch for UH football. It was one of the brilliant times when it was maximum enthusiasm around here, and they were selling out the stadium, and you had all of these massively memorable wins. And Colt Brennan, if you recall, was actually rated pretty high after his junior year as a draft prospect. This is pre-NIL, remember? And so, you don't know how that would have impacted his decision-making with regard to, deciding to stay for his senior year, which he ultimately did, whether he would be lured to other programs. You know how it goes in this day and age. And so he's an interesting case study because you wonder what the impacts of all of that could have been. But I remember that day when he announced at a press conference, and he was very emotional about it, that he was going to come back for his senior year. And he ended up coming back. He ended up having to deal with some injury in his senior year, particularly a concussion that he suffered after taking a huge hit against Fresno State. And then it was at the end of that season where his numbers weren't quite as fantastic as his junior year, where he still was a Heisman finalist, but he saw his draft status and stock drop a little bit. And then he would ultimately go to the Washington Redskins, and he would get some time in the preseason. He showed some glimpses, but it didn't quite work out for him. And, unfortunately, his life after football hit some very sort of devastating levels. And it is a sad story for sure. A guy who I had considered a very strong, close friend of mine. And so it was heartbreaking for sure. But I often think about how life could have been different for Colt Brennan had he decided to leave after his junior year. It was a selfless decision in many ways on his part to say he was going to come back. He did it for the love of this place. He did it for the love of this program and his teammates. And it resulted in, this opportunity for Hawaii to be put on the map in 2007. And, it was one of the times that we'll always remember forever. But at the same time, I think about what if he decided to leave after his junior year. He probably would have been drafted pretty early, or at least one of the early, maybe top 3 rounds or something like that. I think it would have changed his status. It would have changed his level of priority within whatever organization drafted him. And maybe the ending of his story would have been different. So that's one of the things to think about. As far as the Shedeur Sanders thing, watching the draft, when I saw Dillon Gabriel actually go in the 3rd round, and I think this was kind of the situation for a lot of people. Obviously, he's from Hawaii, went to Mililani High School. A lot of people were stoked back here about that. But that's when it dawned on me, whoa, Dillon Gabriel got drafted before Shedeur Sanders. Sanders, who was the #1 quarterback on the board, according to Mel Kiper and a couple of other prognosticators. And so it kind of felt like, oh, are we watching some kind of collusion or something against this guy? But I think it was just this confluence of overall, maybe this wasn't considered one of the deeper quarterback drafts. So maybe it wasn't going in as much of a priority for some of the teams. I think that maybe there was some of that reputation, some of that stench that was attached to Shedeur Sanders about, he had a couple of those comments during the season, throwing his offensive line under the bus, maybe some questions about whether or not he would be a positive influence in the locker room. Fair stuff for sure. There were some reports that have come out since that, some of his interviews with teams weren't that impressive. You have the Dion piece, of course, and a guy who I think a lot of teams were fearful of early in the draft process would be very influential and maybe even sort of possibly getting in the way in terms of contract negotiations and those kinds of things. And so, yeah, I think it was all of that just wound up that impacted the fall and the slide of Shedeur Sanders in the draft. And then the Cleveland Browns did something inexplicable. After picking Dillon Gabriel in the 3rd round, they picked Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round. And so it's twofold, where now it's not as ideal a situation for Dillon Gabriel, because now you got this crowded QB room over there in Cleveland, and you got a guy who I think at least his skill set of throwing the football, whether or not, his ability to understand NFL's offensive schemes and be coached up by somebody that's not his dad, those are all fair questions for Shedeur, but he can throw the football. He can sling it. That's, I think, an objective observation. And so that just puts a little added pressure and a little bit more of a challenge, I think, on the shoulders of Dillon Gabriel in Cleveland. But yeah, I think that's the only way to explain the Shedeur Sanders drop, is there just was enough concern about that stuff on the periphery and enough teams that weren't making the quarterback position as much of a priority as they would have perhaps in another year.
Well, Cleveland does have a starting 5 in basketball, so I mean, we're always good on the quarterback level there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Shane has a question for you about your dad, so he's going to ask you.
Go for it.
Oh yeah, and doing some research and having you on the show with us, man. You're following in your father's footsteps, being the true voice of UH athletics there, in a sense, and all that you do for them, and kind of, what is it like to kind of follow in those footsteps and kind of be a mainstay in it, and kind of keep that legacy going?
Well, I'm trying to keep the legacy going. It's kind of funny. I joke with people because my grandfather was also considered the voice of the Rainbows on radio in the 60s and 70s, Chuck Leahy. And he is actually a member of the Hawaii Sports Hall of Fame, as now my dad is. He was inducted last year. And so, yeah, those guys were the standard setters. And I think my dad, Jim, took it to the top level. And I think I would, maybe I sound biased, but I would definitely venture to suggest that he's the GOAT and the best to ever do it around here. And so, I'm bringing up the caboose of that legacy for sure. But it's a great honor, I think, to bear the last name Leahy. And to be doing something along the same lines as my father and even my grandfather before him. And so I don't take that lightly. And so I think what I learned from them was the importance and the emphasis on being well prepared, being informed, feeling the game and the emotion of a game and understanding the importance of a particular moment, trying to help the viewing audience or the listening audience to sort of understand and capture the magnitude of any particular moment. And so no one was better at doing that, I think, of injecting that added level of excitement and emotion than my father. And so those are some of the things that I try to live up to, or at least abide by when I go about preparing to announce a game. But I take it as a great honor. And certainly I take it seriously enough because it is a legacy that I don't want to bring any kind of negative attention or damage to. You know what I mean?
It's funny you said it. So do you know that show Renovation Aloha?
Yeah.
With Kamahai Kalama and Tristan Kalama. They said the same thing about family. People in Hawaii, people don't understand here. So I'm in South Carolina. People don't realize the Hawaiian people, they're some of the best people in the world. They're the most friendliest, the most loving. If you embrace them and their culture, you are pretty much in for life. And I have so many aunties and uncles over there. Obviously, shout out to Linda and Billy Fajoko. Their son Braden plays
Yeah.
for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and their son Sam actually came on our show recently. He's a new coach. But I want to ask you. This is the final question we're going to ask you because I'm going to let you go. But can you kind of give us an update about? Obviously, I know when the situation that transpired at the beginning of this year, or towards the end of last year, beginning of this year, with leadership. What has transpired with NIL? Is NIL still prevalent with UH athletics, or is it being rebuilt?
I think it's prevalent. I think NIL is a continually changing type of platform and structure, and so I think you have some people within the community who have taken to it, who have prioritized it, and are very active on the collective front in trying to establish some kind of NIL resource for Hawaii. There are other schools within the Big West Conference. One of them that comes to mind is Cal State Fullerton. And, talking to some of the coaches, they haven't necessarily established the infrastructure for the NIL in any real way, shape, or form. And with this House settlement and the revenue sharing that's on the horizon here, I think it's going to take yet another form here going forward. So it is important, but I think the reality of the situation is, the University of Hawaii, like so many other programs, it is a mid-major status. And so there are finite resources when it comes to some of the NIL revenue that can be realized by student athletes here. And so coaches have to be very creative about trying to utilize it in the most beneficial way, and which players they focus some of that on. And that goes for the collectives as well. I do think that some of the foundational uncertainty within the administration of the University of Hawaii has not helped, for sure. You had Craig Angeles, who was the athletics director, and he was very active in trying to promote the NIL collectives and trying to establish that NIL infrastructure. But the previous university president, David Lassner, let him go in November. When Lassner was stepping down from his position at the end of December. And it just was one of these really controversial decisions that ended up making national news. I was announcing a game on ESPN, Hawaii basketball versus North Carolina. And it was in front of a packed house at Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center. It was on national TV. And you had people that were wearing Save Craig T-shirts, and it was so much in the news that we had to reference it. And it was kind of an embarrassing moment, I would have to say, objectively, for University of Hawaii sports. And so Lois Mannon is now the acting AD. They have begun the process to try to find a permanent athletics director. And all you can imagine that has done is kind of contribute to a little bit of a stalling of what could have been a little bit more momentum behind the NIL push, which again is going to take a different form here in the not too distant future. But it is certainly an emphasis. I'd imagine it will be an emphasis for whatever athletics director takes over. Exactly what form it will evolve into over the next few years remains to be seen. But I think everyone across the college sports landscape is having to reckon with the idea of this is a different time, and you got to get with the program. And if you're one of these old school coaches that got into coaching a few decades ago, when NIL was not even something on the radar, and you have not been willing or able to make that adjustment, it's going to be tough. I think it's the reality now. And you're seeing a lot of sort of old school coaches deciding, maybe this isn't even for me anymore. This isn't what I got into it for. And I would not necessarily begrudge them for thinking that, because it is tough, even from a fan's standpoint. This isn't really the college sports scene that we recognize or that we grew up familiar with and grew up loving. But it is the reality. It is the now. And so it is a challenge for everybody, particularly at the mid-major level. And it is something that they're going to have to continue to deal with and cope with.
Absolutely. Look, Kanoa, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really do appreciate it. Can you let everybody know real quick what schedule looking like this weekend? Obviously, we got baseball going on. Can you give a little rundown of what to expect this weekend?
So we're actually taking tonight off from doing the Oregon State baseball game. Rainbow Wahine softball is going to be televised on Spectrum Sports. I think that should be available on ESPN Plus as well. It is the last homestand for Bob Coolin, 34-year head coach for Wahine softball. He is stepping down at the end of this year. They have already positioned themselves to qualify for their inaugural Big West Conference postseason tournament. So it should be a pretty awesome scene over there at Rainbow Wahine Softball Stadium. We are going to be back on the air with the series finale, Hawaii baseball against nationally ranked Oregon State on Monday. Oregon State looked every bit the part of a nationally ranked team. They are playing as an independent this year, which is really interesting because their scheduling has had to be creative. They're not in any kind of conference race, but they had to play their first 11 games of the season away from home because of the difficulty that comes with scheduling as an independent. But man, they look good. And we were commenting throughout the entire broadcast last night. I was doing the game actually with Sam Spangler last night, and he's a former UH pitcher. And we were commenting about all the Oregon State guys look jacked. Like their shirts look like they're painted on. Like their strength and conditioning program is off the chain. They got protein smoothies available 24/7. It seems like because they're just huge. I mean, they just look like they could be almost like a minor league type of team, just passing the eye test. And they have Iva Arquette, who was a St. Louis Crusader, a guy who grew up here in Hawaii, went to Washington for a couple of years, and is now at Oregon State. And quite simply one of the best college baseball players in the land. He's number 5 prospect in the upcoming draft, according to MLB.com. And Oregon State is the real deal, and they showed it last night. So if Hawaii can somehow come away with a win or two, or possibly 3 here over the next 3 days, that would be a monumental accomplishment for this team. And you got already 3 announced sellouts this weekend at Les Murakami Stadium. So it's going to be an awesome team for sure.
I'm ready for that indeed. Cannot wait. Kanoa, thank you so much for coming on and spending time with us and talking about, obviously in my opinion, the greatest school there ever is in the University of Hawaii. Shout out to you as always. I send you lots of aloha, and I hope to hear from you again soon. Can't wait to have you come on. Sound good, sir?
Yeah, hey, it's been a real honor, guys. A real pleasure. So, congratulations on reaching your 100th episode. And, hit me up maybe when we get around 200. Why not, right?
Right on, sir. Mahalo, man. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, sir? All right, see you.
Thanks.
Guys, what a great opportunity to have someone of his caliber on our show. I had so much fun with that. So, guys, I want to do a quick reading. Mute your mic real quick.
No, do what?
Mute your mic real quick. There we go. All right, so we're going to do a quick little reading for our first drawing for the merchandise product. I'm going to have my wife Cassie come over here, please. Shout out to my lovely wife, by the way, y'all.
Da-da-da-da.
This woman is absolutely stunning. All right, I'm going to give her the mic because if they are watching, I want them to hear it too. Cassie, read the number out. Read it out loud.
870004.
Call it out there too. Ask if they have it. We are giving away merchandise tonight. We are giving away Greenville Drive baseball tickets. Yes, we have a lot of stuff literally littered all along here. Guys, we have another guest that is about to join us. We are excited to have this gentleman come on. He is actually a really good friend of ours. He has already been on there. All right, pull another name. So this person's not here, so we're gonna have another name pull. Let's see who she pulls.
87009.
All right, so she's looking. They're not there. Just pull another one then. Let's see who. All right, here she goes. Hold on. She's gonna read it out.
870012.
0012. You are the winner of the purple bag, which is a Target gift card for $10.
Boom, baby. Boom. By the way, it took every bit of my being not to comment about this. But man, when the coach was talking about the players' physiques, I thought he was going to say when they took their shirt off, they look like the whole state of Hawaii. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, I cracked up when Kanoa said that. All right, guys, this gentleman, he is doing his adventure to go play in either the United Football League, Canadian Football League, or the NFL. As you know, we are working really hard to help him out. We will do our best to help him out, ladies and gentlemen. The man himself, the one, the only number 34, Jason Hall.
What's up, y'all boys, man? We back, man. Episode 100.
Oh wow, Jason,
man.
I remember him.
Episode 100, man.
Did you get your No, did you get your hair cut?
No. Yeah, I did.
Hey, I wasn't
born
yesterday.
Yeah, I got me haircut, man. Yeah. How y'all been, man? How y'all doing?
Hey, looks like you're sitting right beside us with the same room.
I know, look at the background. It's like the same style background, like the same color and everything. Look at that.
And I'm probably in the back. You never know. Probably in the back. Never know, man.
Absolutely. All right, Jason. So, man, what's been going on with you as of late? Obviously, you and I have been talking with regards to your journey so far, and kind of share a little bit what's been going on, man.
So pretty much what's been going on lately. So Brandon has been helping out like a lot. We've definitely been talking. It's a big might receive a call from the Rams a little later on. Might. So we'll see how that goes. It's definitely a blessing. Definitely having faith. Gonna see what happens. Even though it's a might, it's all cool. Still working hard, doing what we need to do. This week is a bye week, so we're
Those are so boring when they're bye weeks. You can't have fun,
Bro, I'm watching everybody working, playing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here, like I just want to play too. But definitely been working out. I definitely been relaxing. Also, not pushing myself too hard. Tomorrow I'm actually gonna go back to the field and do some more stuff. So I can get more active again. I didn't want to push myself too hard. Currently, right now, the River Gators, we are 2-2 for the season right now. These teams, even though it's a lower tier arena league, man, these teams are something else. Like I will never underestimate a team because everybody comes with that dog. Like I am 5 touchdowns in for the past. We've played 4 games. I have 5 touchdowns right now. Yards, I'm not too sure. I have to check with my coaches about that. It's definitely been a great journey so far. Definitely had some humbling moments. I've had my what do you call it? Welcome to arena football or welcome to your pro football moment. Had those a couple times by vets, and it's fine. I don't want to talk about it, but definitely been hit. I'm a big dude, but I've been hit. Never thought I could get hit that way, but
You poor
okay,
man.
It's all right. But other than that, man, it's definitely been a blessing. Been a good journey so far. We're definitely pushing to make it to the playoffs and to the championship eventually. But it's gonna happen. Y'all gonna see it. And then get me back on the next episode when the championship happens, and then we're all gonna be talking again. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey,
it's man.
We're ready for it. Obviously, I've been working with trying to get you anything and everything. And like I told you, Rich McKay said that he's sent the stuff over to all teams, and you might be getting a call from the LA Rams. Hey, Rams, my number. Give me a call. And, I'm like, we got a guy here who absolutely can help you. All right, so I got to ask you, have you been able to do the Dougie yet on your next touchdown?
Look,
you said last time you hadn't done that. You were going to do it. So
how old do you think this kid is, man? He ain't gonna do no Dougie.
Come on, Jason, tell him you know the Dougie.
So okay, I got you with the Dougie next week, right? So what I did last week, I just did something simple because when I'm in the moment, I don't think about it. I just spin the ball. The celebration when you spin the ball and you put your hand over it like it's a fire. Like we all did that. That's what we did. It was cool, man. It was, you know what I'm saying? I just gotta open up my bag of celebrations. I'm gonna ask y'all some celebrations I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna learn the Dougie and we gonna do the Dougie. We're gonna do the Dougie.
Get that silly repertoire opened up.
Hold on. Jace, how old are you now?
21. I'll be 22 in like 12 days. I'll be 22
okay.
in 12 days.
Let me give you some lighthearted advice. Do a dance that's from your generation, man. You were probably dude, you were probably what? Let's see, if you're 21, so you were about what, 4, 6 when the Dougie?
let's put it like this: when John Wall was a rookie, that's when the Dougie came out. So
yeah. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go do Macarena then. How's that sound?
Okay, cool. That's dope. We'll do it. I gotta learn it.
No, you ain't doing the Macarena. I'm gonna make fun of you if you do. I'm gonna check the out of you.
Man, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do, man. I need to do it, man. I'm gonna troll you. I'm gonna do it.
Hey, we got real quick before we go to this question. We have another drawing to be held for another gift card. Your number 870014 870014. If that is your number, you have won a gift card. Congratulations to our friend Matt for winning a gift card, sir. You are the proud winner of the Greenville Drive Sports Package. You get a $30 gift card to the Greenville Drive. And you can also get a display of Floor Field. Congratulations, sir. The gift card is inside the box as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we have given away our tickets to the Greenville Drive. Congratulations indeed. Hey, we still got a lot more merchandise here. We have shirts, which, by the way, Jason, your shirt is here. I got to show it to you in a minute. I'm going to show it to you. I gotta continue on this whole thing with Hank over here heckling you about doing the dance from your generation. Come on now. You know that people that of any age know any dance there is, and it's a lot of fun to dance and stuff.
Him doing the Dougie is like me doing the mashed potato. You know, it's just.
Or the Tootsie Roll.
What is the mashed potato? What is that? I don't know.
Oh my word!
No, I'm right there with you. What's the mashed potato?
What's the
mashed potato? I never heard of that.
That's just my point. Okay, it's from the 60s. Okay, I was born in the 80s, sir, and I got news for you. I don't know what the mashed potato is, but I know it was the 60s.
Jason.
Whoa. Jason, what's so funny, man? I was born in the 80s, too. What's so funny, man?
He's not laughing at our age. He's laughing at me being a clown right now. But because there ain't no way you're laughing at our age, because there's an old saying. I got this old for a reason. Keep on living.
No, man, I'm just laughing at the mashed potato, man. I don't know what the mashed potato is, man. I'm gonna learn it. I'm gonna figure out what it is.
I swear, I'm about to go use the restroom, but I swear, if you do the mashed potato, I'm cutting you off, son.
Hey, look, guys.
I still don't know what the mashed potato is, and I don't want to know. So
he wants to know what it is.
Don't do it on your way to the bathroom either.
I don't know what the mashed potato.
Hank's going to do the Macarena as he's walking down right now. Hank, do the Macarena as you walk down, sir. All right, so Jason, we saw the draft end. And this year's draft was absolutely stacked upon stacked of defensive players. You know, we saw the Atlanta Falcons do what they did. They drafted a phenomenal defensive edge rusher, and then they went back into the first round, got another defensive edge rusher. They focused solely on defense. They got one offensive tackle, but that was a good move on their end to help protect Michael Penix Jr. What about this draft stood out to you the most? Like when you go back, I mean, obviously we know the whole Shedeur Sanders situation. As you just heard our friend Kanoa Leahy talk about, like the Shedeur Sanders thing, like where people like colluding against him, whatever. But you know, we know the whole situation with Shedeur Sanders. What stood out to you most though for this draft?
So besides the whole Shedeur situation, that Kansas player Kobe Bryant, I don't understand why he didn't get picked up. That's kind of crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a
character issues.
I mean, Johnny Manziel, he had character issues, but he was a first round pick. But we're not going to talk about that, right? We're not going to talk about that. You know, I feel like this year they went more off of how do I explain it? Character than anything, because Kobe can play, Shedeur can play. Shiloh, I feel like he shouldn't have been an undrafted free agent, in my opinion. I feel like he shouldn't have. I feel like he should have at least been a 6th round, if not a 7th round pick. Because in my opinion, he's one of the hardest. What is he, like a safety? He's one of the hardest hitting safeties, in my opinion. He's one
Yeah,
of the hardest hitting.
well, once you get past about the fifth, sixth round in drafts, you start looking at some of these bigger talents. They are they kind of pick more towards undrafted. So go ahead and sign them straight out because they're going to get a better deal like that than when they would have drafted in the seventh round. So a lot of teams do it like that. So that's one of the reasons why you see a lot of them sign just right after the draft ends, like Charlotte did.
Yeah, because Shiloh, he's really talented. I know he's going to make the Tampa Bay roster. I know that for a fact. I know it for a fact. So
Hey, let's not forget our good friend Nick Nash did sign an undrafted free agent contract with the Atlanta Falcons, which, for those who do not remember, we had the San Jose State offensive coordinator, Mr. Craig Stutzman, on the show, and he did say Nick Nash was an absolute steal in this draft because of his numbers. So it's go on, continue.
The Atlanta Falcons are stacked. They got a lot of guys. A lot of guys. The Panthers are stacked too. I'm watching the Panthers this year. I'm watching the Panthers.
Hey, Matt. All right, Matt. Tell him what you told me when I told you who Atlanta drafted. What did you say when Carolina drafted their that wide receiver? What did you say?
I said I do not want to deal with him for the next 10 years. That's what I said. I said, we got to deal with this guy for the next 10 years.
Bryce QB1. No, wide receiver 1. He got him wide receiver 1 now.
Yeah, but I mean, and Xavier Legette is no slouch either, man. But they have they got a weapon for Bryce Young. I think that kid McMillan is going to be, Mike Evans is on his way out. McMillan is going to step right into that role. Is 1,000 yards off the rip for the next 10 years. So, I hate it. But the Falcons did pick up Kobe, who I thought was a top 5 DB in this draft. So
that was a steal.
I think the Falcons got the biggest steal in the draft, which was Kobe, that defensive back that was undrafted, due to character flaws and character concerns.
Xavier Wyatt was a good pickup too.
He was, but he wasn't better than Kobe. So
Kobe was up there. Kobe's up there.
Yeah. Kobe should have been a first round pick. At least a top 2 pick. I'm top 2 round pick.
One guy y'all need to watch out for. He's a childhood friend. He's a brother to me. Played high school with each other and stuff like that. His name's Jabri Barber. He was a receiver for Texas A&M. He's an undrafted free agent for the Browns. Watch out for him. That is a dog. He's a dog. Shout out to him. He's a dog. He's definitely making that roster. I'm telling you.
Hank, what are we looking at on your screen there, sir?
Even though we know what's his name? All right, so who do y'all think is going to be the starting quarterback for the Browns? Who do y'all personally think?
I think Dylan Gabriel's going to do it. Actually, I don't believe. I'm not sold on Shador. I think Deshaun Watson's done. A double Achilles tear. That's it. You're done. You're not coming back. There's no way. An HE double hockey stick, you coming back. There ain't no way you can come back from a double Achilles tear. Do you really want to bet your organization on a player like Kenny Pickett?
I think they're going to start off with Flacco. Of course, Flacco's going to be the starting nine. And then I think if Flacco doesn't do good, they'll go to Pickett. I don't think we'll see Gabriel or Shador all this season. I don't think we'll see him.
You think they're gonna? You really would think they would go with Pickett over Gillett? Because Kenny Pickett, remember, he did not do good things for Pittsburgh. There's a reason why they got rid of him.
They have a better chance at winning with Kenny Pickett rather than the 2 rookies that they have now. And I think the Browns are just trying to win. They have a solid defense, man. They have good. I mean, they have an okay roster. But I don't know, man. If they did have to turn to the rookies first, I think they'll give Dylan Gabriel a chance before they gave Shador a chance. Just to see what Dylan Gabriel can do. And once if Gabriel does stink it up, then I can see him going to Shador. But every day, whenever a quarterback goes to pick, the crowd is going to be chanting Shador's name every single game. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I just want to comment though. I will say this: Flacco will start, but here's what I'm thinking. Flacco is 39, 40 years old. I think that he will be graciously weeded out unless he produces at the level that he did 2 years ago when he had that fantastic season for somebody at his age. But I see Shador still being this third string, like Matt said. I just don't see it for him this season. And you can get mad all you want to, but
so you can say Joe Flacco's. Do you think Joe Flacco will be the starter to start this year?
I think he'll be the starter, but what I'm thinking is that he'll like slowly get weeded out because there's got to be a future in there. Like I'm not saying that he's not gonna like he'll probably play when they have certain moments, so to speak. I don't know how to explain it. Like if just like any circumstance, if they're up on the board high enough, then they'll probably put the rookies in and stuff like that. Shador will be the third string. But guess what? Football season's not for another 4 or 5 months or something like that. So he's got enough time to prove people wrong. Yeah. Sometimes you can take our criticism all you want to, and it may be correct. But you know what? Prove me wrong.
People forget, man, the Seattle Seahawks. They had just drafted Matt Flynn to this huge, I think, $60, $70 million deal. Matt Flynn had one good game with the Packers. He had like a 4 or 5 touchdown game, and then got a big deal with the Seahawks next year. This rookie in training camp, this 3rd, 4th round pick, in training camp, just wowed them in training camp. And Pete Carroll said in the game basketball, he went to the quarterback and was like, "Hey, Russ, you're going to be our new starter." So that's what I was that. And then Russell Wilson was a starter ever since. So, they have a lot to prove in training camp. Shador can go to training camp, show that he's the best option, which honestly, out of all the quarterbacks in there, I think he is the better option out of all of them. Flacco, of course, is going to start for the first couple of games, but I can see them going to somebody else later on. But we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. I think they'll have it all decided by preseason.
What do you think, Shane?
Well, I think Shador will prove himself and be number 2 going in with Flacco starting. They'll sit Deshaun for this year, no matter how playoff run or not. Just because I think there's a lot of great new moving pieces going on. They did a great job.
You froze.
That they needed. So that's.
We lost him for a second there. He'll come back and join on there. But so while we're waiting on to come on, let's do another drawing if possible. My lovely assistant here, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys get a chance to shout out this beautiful woman here, my wife Cassie. She's shaking it up. Shaking it again. She pulls out a number, and the number is 870018. You are the winner of another prize pack. You choose whichever one, honey. All right. And they are going to win a $15 gift card to Dunkin' Donuts. Woo! All right. So Shane is back. Let's welcome him back. All right, Shane, continue what you were saying.
Oh, yeah. Well, sorry about that little technical difficulty. But, I think Shador improved himself, creeps up, but the Browns are going to be good enough to make a little run, I think, if they have a decent start to the season with the pieces that they have. But I think that, pressure bust pipes in a sense. So, it's gonna be interesting to watch, just all the pieces, not just that quarterback race in the end.
I like that, and look, the football season is going to be one for the ages. But you know who's going to be a good addition to any roster? Mr. Jason Hill right here. Let's get him.
I sure hope so. And on a personal note, Jason and I talked on Facebook Messenger, like, what was that, about a week ago? And obviously I've been kind of kidding around with stuff like that, but I'm not here to give advice. There's an old proverb that says, man, the reason why people get discouraged a lot is because you gave them advice more than you gave them encouragement. And I'm giving you encouragement, Jason. Man, I really want this bad for you. And if you remind me and others remind me, I will pray for you daily that whatever that happens in your near future will be for the best. Because if something doesn't happen, it's not a failure. It's God's timing. It's his will. And I am publicly saying that. It's very unpopular to talk about stuff like that nowadays, but I believe the way that God aligns us with it. But you never know. I mean, stay prayed up. Don't put Him in every decision in your life.
Definitely, yes, sir. I appreciate it, yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, Jason, I got to show you your shirt. The lovely Sportz Nutz shirt. Shane is graciously getting his hit. Got it. By the way, we are giving away Sportz Nutz car flags. This is what the car flag looks like, folks. All right, Jason, here is, look at Shane. And that is your shirt.
That's
So,
dope, man. I
so
need that now.
I will send it out to you. That is your shirt, sir. And
Hey,
we
I
have a bag
appreciate it.
over here that's sitting next to Hank. Hank, can you show him one of the bags, please?
Oh, absolutely. So
Make sure he sees it,
here's
of course.
I got him covered. I just got to untangle it. Give me one
There's like 250 bags over here. So
no, I know it. No, I'm the one screwing up. So there we go. Right here.
All right.
Right.
There goes the camera.
You know what it is? Oh, it's this new camera, man. Like it detects if it doesn't detect a human being.
That's the bag. It's a drawstring bag. You have a card decal in there. You will also have a keychain and a sticker. And, of course, it's a drawstring bag to represent the greatest sports show there ever was in the Sportz Nutz.
Oh yeah, that's definitely going on my card. And that the shirt once they get here, I'm wearing it, and then I'm wearing it during the game, straight like that. So they're gonna know it. They're gonna know it, man. They're gonna know it. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna get your
Shane's telling you to lift your shirt and be like, this is the Sportz Nutz.
I got that autograph for y'all. I'm gonna have it sent out next week. I'm gonna have it sent out. I'm gonna have it sit down next week with y'all, man.
Absolutely, we're ready for it.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all, man. I really do.
So, all right, Jason, final words for the lovely people, because we have a little more giveaways we got to give away. But what is the final word coming from you, sir? Like, what is the next adventure we can expect in the coming weeks for you?
So next adventure for the coming weeks, man. Just stay tuned for our games, man. We are streaming on YouTube. Tri-City River Gators on YouTube. You can catch our lives. You can follow me on social media. As on Instagram is PXPI Hex HEXX. I do have a TikTok. It is what is it called? It is Anime Dude. And I do post my football journey there. I do have a journey series called Road to the NFL. So I post everything there. So if you guys want to look at my journey and see what's going on in the recent times, just go on there and look. I have like over 2K followers on TikTok, over 70K likes on most of my posts. So I really appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you guys helping me. Y'all are doing a lot for me, more than you know. And I hope God bless all of you guys. I really appreciate all of you guys, man. I really do.
Absolutely, and I will still reach out to my other contacts that I have in the Canadian Football League. Obviously, I know a couple out there that I'm going to reach out to. I do have a couple of people that I'm going to try and reach out to in the United Football League, just to get like, hey, I got a guy here that is willing to put in all the work. Give him an opportunity, and we'll go from there. Sound good?
I appreciate it. Even if it's a workout, man, I appreciate y'all guys, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Jason, have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your evening and get on home, because I know you're closing down the store there. So get on home and enjoy your family.
It's already closed.
Oh,
it's already done. I'm gonna go look up the mashed potato dance and then learn how to do the double.
Oh no, you're gonna get laughed out the building, partner. Don't even try, man. Don't even try, man. You can look at it and you're gonna be like, man, that's stupid. No wonder he's making fun of that dance.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, I ain't doing it. I'm not.
Hey, either way, keep doing big things. God bless.
God bless y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Jason,
right?
Take care, brother.
Yes, sir.
Guys, we have had a fantastic shout out, by the way, to our good friend Dustin. What's up, Dustin Davis? He is the man who has helped create our QR code for all of our social media handles. Thank goodness for that one. All right, guys, so I want to quickly bring this up to you. Is LeBron James done? Obviously, we're on the verge of a 23rd season. The gentleman was hurt again. Well, I mean, but he's a big flopper. You know, he's the king of flop. Vladi Divac is over here laughing his head off. Literally. So he's sitting right over here next to me, laughing his head off. Matt, I'm going to start with you. Is it time for LeBron to hang it up?
First of all, we're not going to discredit the legacy of the LeBron James. We're not going to do that. Has he been on the ground a little bit more than usual per past years? Absolutely. But remember, he is 40 years of age, so let's not, discredit that. The man has done everything and accomplished everything in the sport, so let's give him his flowers, Brandon. Let's give him his just due, give him his respect. With that being said, is it time to retire? It's probably getting there. We're probably getting there, man. I say he has about 2 more seasons left. I can see him wanting to wait till his other son comes into the league, but for now, I think he's going to come in. Next year he's going to drop his 25, 5 and 5, and he's going to get another All-Star nod, another All-Star. Probably a third-team All-NBA, and he's going to call it a year. So, also, next ticket winner that we have 870010. 870010.
You are the winner.
A $15 Starbucks gift card. Congratulations!
I think I had that ticket. That's my ticket.
All right, Shane, I'm gonna go to you. Does LeBron need to hang it up?
I don't think he hangs it up. I think he's still going to be productive in the year that he's going to have coming up. Maybe this year and possibly the next. But anything after that, I did see a good analogy though today with some stats. Shaquille O'Neal made more free throws than Steph Curry. Is Shaquille a better free throw shooter than Steph? So that's kind of that kind of there's your question of the night too for the LeBron conversation, all that with the GOAT Michael and everything. So I'll just leave it at that. But I think he plays another 2 years. Maybe 1 year, that final year with both boys, if possible. Kind of deal. So we'll see what happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got to introduce you to the most amazing star ever known to man, my beautiful 9-month-old daughter, Aspen. Aspen, what do you think? Can you say dada? Say baba. Say baba. Say baba.
She's got a pacifier in her mouth.
And there you are, I go. Ladies and gentlemen, the word has spoken. The queen of them all is Aspen. Reese has spoken.
She's adorable. She just doesn't make sense how adorable she is.
And like Hank said, she does have pacifier in her mouth. She cannot speak.
She can speak. No,
not with the pacifier in her mouth.
Say bye-bye. Wait. Say bye-bye.
Up there it goes.
Yeah, bye-bye. There's logic.
Ladies and gentlemen, she is trying to speak her first words. Future radio star right here. Let's get it back to mommy. Ladies and gentlemen, Aspen.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to give you Hank. Does he need to hang it up? Or should he play a couple more years? Like Shane was saying.
I can agree with my colleagues here and say he can play 2 more years. Okay, just because he's gone fishing after the first round doesn't mean that he's done, so to speak. He'll never suck. At least not until he's like 50 years old. Like he can outball a lot of these boys. My opinion, I think that there's 2 reasons for him to stay in the league for 2 more years. Number one, he might want to play with the son that actually can ball. Number one.
Wait. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the man has just said the exact same thing that I have told Mr. Matt Thomas here all along. Bronny James cannot play ball. Bryce is a heck of a lot better basketball player. Go ahead.
Hey, Bronny James. Prove me wrong. But here's the deal. Also, not only the second son, but next year, if he plays I think over the next 30 games, he breaks Robert Parrish's record for having the most games played in the NBA. So he's not going to hang it up because this man's chasing stats. He can deny it all he wants to, but he's chasing as many stats as he can lead as he wants to. You know, now granted, the only stat he'll that he leads also in is that he has over 5,000 turnovers, and Jordan and Kareem didn't have 5,000 between the two of them. So
absolutely,
and I'm a LeBron James guy. Don't get me wrong. I don't like the fact that he flops, but when he doesn't flops, he's the best.
He is also the NBA all-time leader of flops, Mr. Matt Thomas.
No, that's impossible. We've had Vlade Divac, we've had so many people that have done the flop game. LeBron just entered his name into the discussion of it. Like,
the Detroit Pistons were kind of expected to do it, like when they did it in the late 80s. You know, they were expected to be as dirty as they can, even though they had a superstar in Isaiah Thomas. They still had to do some dirty tactics in order to win. And LeBron will be confronted about this, like he already has been, and hopefully he'll admit the full truth. Hey, that's just how I play the game.
We will see, obviously, on that one. All right, guys, look, the Atlanta Braves, Major League Baseball. So the Atlanta Braves are actually on the cusp of doing something that, and here's a crazy stat. I did not know this. Thanks to my good friend, Brandon Gaudin. For those who don't know who he is, Matt knows who Brandon Gaudin is. He is the voice of your Atlanta Braves. 5 teams in Major League Baseball history started the season 0-7 and got to level 500 in the first quarter of the season. Only 5 teams have ever done that. And Atlanta right now, I haven't looked at the score. Obviously, they're playing tonight, but Atlanta is 14-17. They're 3 games away from being the fastest to do it, which would be the 6th team overall as well. So I'm going to start with Shane, because Shane, you know, and you and I talk a lot about the Atlanta Braves. Can we go ahead and, you know, obviously the not so popular radio station here in the upstate of South Carolina and the wannabes that are out there who said that Atlanta needs to go ahead and hang it up and be prepared for 2026. Can they go ahead and put the doubters to rest and say, you know what, we're coming, and both the Mets and the Phillies better watch out?
I can say we're seeing, you know, kind of the revelation of the depth of Atlanta right now, especially with Mr. White playing out there.
Yeah, Eli White.
He's coming in clutch here later in games, which we've seen. You know, we've been in, you know, the big run games. We've been in the, you know, kind of the 1-run games, the 2-run games. You know, 3-hit games. It's you know, you've seen a variety of different games now this far into the season, and the Braves are starting to handle it well. And you know, now the relief pitching is starting to get into the rhythm and the flow of the season, and being in the bullpen and being able to be called upon in a certain moment to be able to pitch and stuff. So I think that they're doing pretty good. And, you know, all this being said, you know, if you look into the minor league system of the Braves right now, there's a lot of great pitchers that are coming up. So, you know, that starting rotation is solid, but there's a lot of people coming up and a lot of people coming off injury that will be coming up through those ranks that we're going to need for the push late October. But I do fully believe that we're going to, you know, by All-Star break, you know, we're going to be sniffing around that 3rd, 2nd range in the NL East.
What do you think, Matt? I mean, obviously, you know, we heard the rumblings early on in the season from a not so popular radio show over here in South Carolina that said that Atlanta needs to hang it up. They're done. Put them under the table. We even heard a couple wannabes from the upstate who have said the Atlanta Braves need to hang it up. What do you think, Matt? Should Philadelphia and New York Mets be scared?
First off, you know, anybody's entitled to their opinion. If a team is 0-7, you know, people are going to say, "Oh, this teams hanging up. This teams are hanging up. Everybody always overreacts, man. The whole social media and the scene for sports is all about overreacting now. It's all about being able to make the hot, have the hot line, have the hot topic, the shock value. You know, I just refer to those particular individuals like that as Skip Baylesses. You know, that's what I refer to them as. But you know, with that being said, you know, man, just and no discredit to Skip Bayless. You know, no discredit to Skip Bayless whatsoever. You know, he had a historic career. Skip Bayless grinded from the ground up. I just want to make that clear. No disrespect to Skip, whatever. But he knows what he does. Anyways,
I like the acting you there had that sounds like Stephen A. Smith, by the way you just said like that too.
I respect Stephen A. Smith as well, man. You got to respect him as well. He's put it up. So
Mario Chavez.
With that being said, man, I mean, the Braves, they're too talented of a team. The Braves are too talented of a team to not turn them around after 7 games. I mean, we're just talking 7 games here, man. There's 160 some games in baseball. I mean, you had to know the Braves were going to go on some kind. Their bats were going to come live. You had to have known that they are too talented of a team to trend so far.
Let's not forget that Ronald Acuna Jr. literally comes out. I think he actually starts next week.
Exactly. I mean, the Braves with the talent on their team, they can trip and fall to 500 for the season. You know, so you know, man, you know, you just gotta know what teams you're talking about. You know, maybe if people actually. I'm not a big baseball guy. I love to go to Braves games. I love going to Braves games, but I'm not the biggest baseball aficionado out there. But even I know, even Ray Charles could see that the Braves would get back up to 500 because they're that talented of a team. And if you couldn't see that, then I mean, do you watch baseball?
Let me guess, you're living under a rock, right? All right, Hank, so let's go to you then. Your team obviously faced Atlanta and the St. Louis Cardinals, you know, and you saw what Atlanta is capable of right now. You know, what are your impressions? Could Atlanta actually make a serious run at the NL East?
Absolutely. I mean, we're at it's too early in the season. I realize the season is only maybe 3 weeks into it, but here's the thing, though: it's too early. There's too much potential. I see a lot of. I still see a lot of fresh legs out there. You know, they all haven't been riddled with injuries. You know, you've had a few tweaks and stuff like that, but that's normal. You never go out there 100%. And I see a lot of potential for them to go to the you know, I mean, I see them making a deep run in the playoffs too if they play like they're playing right now.
Absolutely. You know, and obviously there's a lot to be, you know, to count your stars for the Atlanta Braves. We're not counting them out. By the way, shout out again to the Columbus Clingstones. We actually might be having some more Clingstone players come on. Hey, Brian Kajiyama, my good friend, a very long time at the state of Hawaii. He actually came on our show.
Hey, Brian. Long time no see, man. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, man. Hey, you and I have been talking. Brian, if you hadn't had the chance to go back and check out what Kanoa said. Really good interview with him. Brian McManus is actually going to be joining the show in the coming weeks. Everybody knows who Brian McManus is. He is with Spectrum Sports Hawaii. Brian, you know who he is, so stay tuned for that one. It's going to be a good episode.
I will say, Brian, you looking smooth in that photo right there, man. Hair slicked back, button up collared shirt, looking smooth in that photo, Brian.
Casket sharp, man.
Yes. So for those who don't know, our good friend Brian Kajiyama has come on our show. He is a huge advocate for individuals with disabilities. Brian has cerebral palsy. He is a phenomenal individual. And if you guys get a chance, check him out. A great story. Heart of the Warrior on all platforms, especially on YouTube, is a really good shoot on that one. All right, guys. We've had a hold on. We have had a fantastic show. We made it to 100. We have a special guest that I want to bring on. The man himself. Yes, come on. Come on, cheer him on, y'all. Come on, get him on. Come on. Here he comes, folks. He's going to give a quick little shout out to all you guys and us. Please, sir.
You can hold the mic. You can hold it. Yes,
Thank you for allowing us to have our
My pleasure.
episode here. Please, if you can, just give a quick shout out to all those who are watching. You have a good bit of people watching.
I want to thank everybody for coming and everybody welcome here, you know.
That's right.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, my
Indeed,
friends.
we have had the absolute amazing time, guys. We hit the century mark officially on episodes today. I don't know if you guys know this. Matt has already declared us dead on arrival because of our age. we have a fun-filled remaining bit of the season. We only have a few more weeks left of season 3 of the Sportz Nutz. We're going to take a week off at the end of May. Come back season 4. Y'all, we're going to have even more fantastic member guests come on our show. Do everything. We can't wait to share it with you. We've had the absolute utmost respect for every single person that's come on. If you guys have not had the opportunity right now, go on our YouTube page, please, and check out the episode, the interviews we had this past week. Actually, we had it with Colin Lacey, the play-by-play announcer of Georgia Tech's baseball program. Then also, if you can, we would love for you to chime in on this one, Mr. Jonathan Hughes of your Columbus Clingstones. He came on and graced us. We actually have a couple more players that are probably coming on as well. Can't wait for that one. But then also we had Mr. Graham Neff, the Clemson athletic director, who let us know that Clemson is only getting bigger and better.
Okay, all right. First of all, Brandon, don't mean to interrupt you. What we're going to do here, guys, for those who don't know out there, somebody just celebrated their birthday not too long ago. That's the person being Brandon Kilo over here. Brandon, we all just wanted to let you know, man, you know, we appreciate everything you did, man. We appreciate you starting the show. We appreciate you bringing us all on. What we want to do right now, man, we want to have girls come on over. We want to have everybody just kind of acknowledge, you know, that, you know, we appreciate you. We appreciate everything that you do. So, you know, Cassie here wanted us to come through, man, and give her, for those who can't see, just wanted to wish Brandon here happy birthday. So we're gonna have his daughters singing happy birthday to him.
Oh,
right?
Cassie, make sure you give them stuff too. All right.
1, 2, 3. Go ahead, guys.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Daddy. Happy birthday to you.
There you go. Blow out your candles.
Thank you guys so much. That means the world to me. Hey, welcome everybody who's walked in. Welcome to the Sportz Nutz episode 100. You all are going to get some merchandise that we're giving it away. So please stay tuned. My wife is getting a ticket. You guys are getting free stuff. And if you want to come on and talk to us, we are live right now. We would love to have you come on.
We are live.
We are live on the radio. Hey, let's go. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Bring it on. Yeah, come on. We got to come and talk. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Hey,
So
you get a $10 gift card.
So you upstairs.
All right. So hold on here. I'm going to give you the microphone. Okay. Yeah, we're going to give you something. All right. There's a microphone.
You can hold it.
We have a camera right there. Okay. You are live on here. Do not be nervous.
So you guys won a championship.
I'm going to start with you. What is your name?
Kennedy.
Speak of the mic.
Kennedy.
What is your name?
Aubrey.
Aubrey, please tell us a little bit about the championship. Like, first off, I'm gonna stand up right now. I'm gonna give you a round of applause.
Yeah. Hey, my wife played softball her whole life. My son daughter Madison played softball. It's a phenomenal sport.
So tell us a little bit about what position you play.
Center field. Center field.
And what position do you play?
Left field.
Left field. All right. So what was who did you play today?
Oh, the Nitro team, I think.
Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
Nitro.
And what was the final score?
4-2.
All right. That's it. Congratulations. So see my wife behind you, Cassie.
They don't live in the East West, so they can't have that big
Okay.
yard.
All right.
All right, I have Target. I have Olive Garden and Okay, how about Target? Target? Which one do you want? I have Olive Garden and Red Olive Garden.
All right, we have selected the Olive Garden gift card and the Target gift card. Hey, girls, congratulations.
Thank you.
Shout out to you. Will you actually, Cassie, will you give them a shirt as well, please? Here, give them a shirt. Give them each a shirt. They're all the same size. You get a shirt. It is the Sportz Nutz shirt. We are a national podcast. We are now nationally here on a local radio station. We also are one in Texas. We are all over. We're on every social media platform. But I want to say congratulations to you both. We here at the Sportz Nutz, Hank, Matt, and let's give them a round of applause. Yeah. Congratulations. Go enjoy your dinner, girls, and we are proud of you. Obviously,
that's what I'm talking about. You know what? And you know, I don't think you hear what I'm saying right now about this, because I'll just say this. The other night I was watching a channel where there was like a girls softball team that had like 300 plus viewers on Facebook watching this game live, and the age group was about these girls' age and stuff like that. So there is a market for this that is up and coming. And Brandon and I were talking about this a couple of nights ago, or you know, was it? It was last night, as a matter of fact.
Last night, actually, yeah.
Yeah, it was last night before I went to bed to come in here. So what a coincidence that these girls come in here. Look, I don't know where it's coming from and why it's out there, but there is a market for this kind of adolescent lady softball thing going on right now. And I am so happy to see this. And one of my goals now is to figure out how we can utilize the same way that channel I was telling you about I was watching, you know?
Shane, go ahead.
Oh yeah, well the youth sports movement that I've seen there in Pisgah Forest, man, it's ridiculous. You know, I get my exercise in. I walk about 1.5 miles, you know, getting to and from the car, going to watch games. But man, it's lovely to see that kind of excitement and that kind of, you know, different ages and everything else, you know, going on in between everything. You know, it's exciting to see, especially at such a young age coming up. You know, from say your 5-6-year-olds all the way up to, you know, your 15-16-year-old kids, and then you see them out there at JV and varsity levels. So it's really great to see.
Guys, we've had a fantastic episode. I want to give a shout out to all those who attended. Congratulations to the lovely ladies for winning softball championship. We are proud of you indeed. So for our good friend Kanoa Leahy and all of the University of Hawaii program, for our good friend Jason, Hank, what do you tell these lovely people, sir?
You know, you could have been doing anything else, but you came and joined us, and I thank you every time that we are here, baby. So thank y'all, and happy 100th episode to us. I don't mind giving us our own flowers here. So thank y'all, and y'all have a pleasant evening.
Matt, what do you tell these lovely people, sir? You're muted.
Gotcha. Appreciate it. Hey, guys, real quick, weekend's coming up. You know, respect your elders, follow the rules, and don't get flagged in the game of life. Don't get flagged.
Shane, unmute yourself and tell them what you say, sir.
Oh man, well, as always, man, it's you know, a pleasure that the good Lord placed me here with you guys to make it to this 100th episode. You know, so proud and, you know, thankful for everybody that we have watching and subscribe to us. You know, only bigger things are here to come. But as always, peace, love, and bacon grease.
Peace, love, and bacon grease, indeed, guys. As I always tell you, we are only getting better thanks to you. You guys have helped us get to 100. Thank you again. As I always tell you, peace up, A-Town down. Greatest sports city there ever is. As you guys see right here, Falcons rise up. You guys have a wonderful evening, and just love each other. Take care, and we'll talk to you again on Tuesday. Until then, good night, everybody, and enjoy this lovely outro.